Good evening and welcome to episode 207 of the Private Property Podcast. I'm your host, Uzamantungwa Khumalo. It's the Wednesday edition of the Private Property Podcast, and as we do every single Wednesday, we always have somebody from the Absa team to join us and better unpack a hot property topic that is, of course, pressing to many of us at home. And this evening, we're going to be dealing with something that I know we talk about quite a lot on the show, and we always trying to find, I was even saying to my guest of air that we're always trying to find different ways that we can not only better our knowledge of property, but also make the most informed property decisions and know what kind of questions to be asking our financial institutions, or, the right phrasing that we should be using when we're interacting with them in order for us to get the best property deal that we can. And this evening, we're going to be looking at, can consumers leverage greater value from their home loan by simply having a transactional account with the same bank? Now, you know that we always talk about, shopping around for various home loans and working with different financial institutions. But today we're going to be looking at, how it may actually be better to work with your primary bank, or the various ways that you can leverage having a current account with your current bank that you currently bank with. But before we get started with our conversation this evening, of course, one of the things that you can always look forward to here across the Private Property social media platforms are the host of other great shows that we've got on offer. I am talking about the farming podcast that Umbali Noko brings to your screens every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Every Tuesdays and Thursdays, she speaks to an agricultural expert and as a farmer herself, and they really do help in better understanding some of the opportunities that you can tap into should you be interested in the farming value chain. And that is a show that you absolutely do not want to miss if you have green fingers. And another show that we absolutely love here on Private Property is, of course, the First Time Home Buyers Show with Esti Klassen. That comes to your screens every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. And it's one of those shows that if you're a first-time home buyer and you're still trying to better navigate your first-time home buying journey and also want to get a sense of what other first-time home buyers went through, some of the obstacles that they perhaps had to overcome in order to buy that first home, then that is the show you want to tune into. And I also know that one of the things that the First-Time Home Buyers Show is asking is they want you to nominate somebody who has a great story about their first-time home buying journey that they can feature on the show. And it can be yourself. So if you think your story of buying that first home is a great story, then do make sure that you slide into our DMs and the team will be in touch with you. And of course, you will be featured on the First Time Home Buyers Show with Esti Klassen on Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. And you can look forward to that show later on this evening with Esti Klassen. Now, over the weekend, we absolutely never leave you alone. Chad brings you the Home Shoppers Show, where he gives you a sneak peek of some of what you can expect in the country's best estates and complexes. We certainly do have a lot of property content that we bring to your screens at home here on Private Property, and we never stop there because we take it a bit further. And of course, I am talking about the Sherlock Holmes competition. That's the exciting competition that we started 2021 off with, where every single week we share a riddle, and we want you to crack the riddle and let us know where it leads you. And if you crack it correctly, then you stand a chance of walking away with 5,000 Rand voucher every single Friday. And to keep things interesting, because we loved keeping things interesting and spicy, we've also added spot prizes that we give away every Wednesdays and Thursdays live here on the Private Property Podcast with myself, Zamantungwa Khumalo. And all you have to do to grab that 500 Rand prize is to be watching us live on air, and to make sure that should we call your name out, you text us down here below to claim your prize. Well, it certainly is that easy to win on Private Property and across our social media platforms. So do make sure that you keep sharing. Certainly keep engaging with us across our social media platforms. And of course, you can find me on @Zamantungwa_K. Well, I did promise you that this evening we're looking at a national account with your bank when you are applying for a home loan. And to help us better understand how we should even be thinking, help to speak and have a conversation with your primary bank, I'm joined this evening by Omar Baig, who's the head of transactional banking at Absa Everyday Banking. Omar, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Zama. Thank you. I'm really looking forward to being on your show, to talking to you and your listeners, and perhaps sharing some insights on how customers can get more value from their banking relationship. So yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
We absolutely look forward to this great conversation, Omar, because as you say, I think one of the big things that a lot of consumers right now are looking for is the different ways that they can get value, whether it is obviously when they're buying a home, or even when you're buying groceries. I think now we're sort of comparing different grocery stores and how much they're charging, because you want to make sure that your rands can go slightly further. But of course, we focus on property, so we're going to be looking at how that value can be best maximized in the context of buying that first home, or even adding an additional property to your property portfolio. And perhaps, a great, actually so important for, to have a transactional account with the same bank as your home loan. Because I know we sometimes say, as much as you can bank with bank A, you can get a home loan with, bank B. But why is it so important that sometimes that facility is in fact with your primary bank that you do a lot of your transactions with?
Yeah, and Zama, I think that's such an important point that's often overlooked by a lot of people. Basically, having your transactional account is the core of your banking relationship. It's where your salary comes in, your income comes in, it's where your expenditures go out of. And just having that relationship with the bank allows the bank to know you as a customer a lot better. And what that does is that the better the bank knows you, the more comfortable the bank is building up that relationship and extending a wider range of products and services that suit your needs. So one is it allows us better understand the customer and tailor the offer for the customer need, and also understand what other products and services that the customer would benefit from, and expand that offering to our customers.
And I mean, when we talk about that, Omar, perhaps if you can explain to our viewers at home then perhaps the benefits of using different sort of digital products that sometimes your primary bank would typically have. I know there's quite a huge drive from the various banks to use the digital offerings, don't go into a branch, and we already saw this pre-COVID. I mean, now they're doing it even more because of COVID and wanting to make sure that everybody is safe and that even their staff members are as safe as possible. But you're seeing that there's such a huge drive to pushing consumers to using digital platforms like the app, or even cell phone banking quite a lot. Does that in any way sort of play a role in how banks view you, or particularly your primary bank, when you then start that home loan application process?
So I think the digital platforms are designed and developed for our customers in mind. The whole premise behind the digital platform is to provide greater convenience to our customers. Essentially, what that allows you to do is you carry your relationship, your banking relationship around with you. You can access it anytime at your convenience. And I think that becomes, even more important in situations like we're currently facing today with COVID. So having the ability to access your finances and manage your finances from your home, from your office, from wherever you might be at any time or day or night that you need to, I think is so important, especially in this time. The other big advantage of digital is that typically a lot of the services that you can access on the digital channels are much lower. They are much lower in fees, and also sometimes they come with no extra cost. So, for example, if you wanted to transfer money between your bank account and your home loan, or take out some money, if you've got excess available in your home loan, move it back into your bank account, you can do that in real time and at no cost. So that's a wonderful convenience to have with you. The other thing is, if at any point in time you need things like you need your home loan statement, you need to know your state of your finances, you need to know your banking statements, they're all available to download at literally the click of a couple of buttons. So I think that's a big advantage. I think that the third thing, and now I speak more from an Absa perspective, I think we've kind of gone an extra step in ensuring that our customers can bank safely with complete peace of mind on the digital channels by offering what we call a digital fraud warranty. So essentially, that protects you, from any kind of online fraud, provided you've been careful and prudent about not giving away, the keys to the safe, as we call it, not sharing your PIN, not sharing your password. I think digital security is really front and center of customers' minds these days. And I think the ability to know that I can bank on the digital channels, with complete peace of mind, not have to worry about my security being compromised or my account being hacked, I think is really a big advantage for customers. And that's why we really do encourage customers to download the app, register for our online banking services, and use our digital channels as much as possible.
Omar, one of the things, and I don't want viewers to think I'm necessarily punting at Absa, because I've spoken quite openly about it. One of the home loans that I have that does happen to be with Absa, and I remember it was probably not even last, I think it may have been the year before, quite late the year before. I had called the call center, so it's not my primary bank. One of the home loans is with the bank, and I called, call center for something with the home loan account that I wanted, changed. And I remember the security feature being fundamentally different from how I'd experienced the other banks. I think they were probably one of the first few banks, certainly in the home loan department, to institute the voice recognition. And I remember when the person I was speaking to was telling me about it, I was impressed that we already now had it in South Africa, because at the time it hadn't quite become as mainstream at all. Actually, I don't think I had encountered it at all. And so the fact that they were like, no, here are the different phrases, you'll say it a couple of times, and next time you call in, we won't ask you a whole host of other security measures. I know one of the other banks that I have a home loan facility with has only recently started doing that, because when I was, having a conversation with them, they then asked, would you like to, do this with your voice, because we now have this new feature. So I can certainly attest that one of the big important things does become safety. And I think as South Africans, we're always scared when it comes to, doing certain transactions from a digital platform or using our phones, because scamming, unfortunately, is a reality. And often, the scammers do have your numbers. Sometimes they may have your ID number, and you're just verifying sort of the last few details for them to nicely wrap up whatever, scam that they're currently running. So it does put, a customer at ease. And it certainly put me at ease that you had created another barrier for somebody to potentially scam, because some of the questions, as much as we may think they're confidential, I feel as though some are relatively, they'd ask you if you're a director at company X. For most people, that might be a no, and so on and so forth. So I just think it's always so great when you see new layers of security being added, especially when it comes to our finances, because that's the one area that's so much harder to recover from in many ways.
No, yeah, you're so right. And I think in as much as we invest in products, services, convenience for our customers, I think we're so conscious of ensuring that customers can continue to access these great products and services via a channel or a platform of their choice with complete peace of mind. So the thing that we really look out for is, and without kind of giving away too much detail on that, but how do we build in those extra layers of security, whether it's on our physical channels in the branches when you come in, whether it's on our voice channels, whether it's on our digital channels, and we are so confident and again, I want to kind of maybe do a little bit of a touch wood here in terms of our products and services and the security we offer around it. And I think that's what's enabled us to put forward, the digital fraud warranty, which again has proved, over the time that we've had it in place, to be so beneficial for our customers. It's protected hundreds of thousands of customers, from getting their account scammed, from losing out what could have been their life savings. And we come across examples of this every day. So that kind of focus on safety of our customers, financial wealth, their life savings, their ability to transact freely with peace of mind is a key focus for us. And it's something we continue to invest in, just to make sure we stay one step ahead to the extent possible of all these kind of fraudsters and scammers you have out there.
Now, Omar, I think one of the big things with, having you on this evening that I know a lot of viewers would certainly want an answer to is, in the event where, will the bank that your primary bank, so the bank that you bank with, will they almost automatically give you a better rate than other banks when you apply for a home loan? So how, in many ways, how does it sort of pay, as it were, to try and work with your primary bank? Perhaps take us through how financial institutions would typically view, customers that are already their customers versus when they have an application and it's an outside customer, or a customer who doesn't have a primary, transactional account with them.
Certainly. Yeah, Zama, thanks for that question. And I think by having your primary transactional account with the bank where you are taking your home loan gives you the best chance of getting the best possible rate. Now, with interest rates that you pay on your home loan, they're not guaranteed. For each customer, the interest rate is tailored according to their individual circumstances. What's the value of the loan they're taking, what's the period of the loan, the LTV, and many other factors. So, but the fact is that if you've got your primary transaction relationship, it gives the bank a much better opportunity to understand you as a customer, to understand a couple of key things. One is, what is your risk profile? What is your ability to service the loan that you're taking? How responsible are you with managing your finances? And all those things give additional comfort, to the bank. And that allows the bank then really to kind of give you the best possible interest rate. And your primary bank, I want to be careful of what I say here, but your primary bank should be able to give you a better interest rate than you get with another bank where maybe you don't have your primary transactional relationship. There is a big advantage to maintaining that relationship. The longer you've had that relationship, the better the bank understands you, you understand the bank. It's like with any other relationship, the more you know each other, it becomes that much easier for the bank then to tailor the products and services to your requirements and give you the best possible options, on the products and services you need. So whether it's the interest rate, whether it's, the rewards that come with that relationship, you should be able to get the best possible deal from the bank where you maintain your primary transactional relationship.
We are, of course, this evening talking about, can consumers leverage greater value from their home loan by simply having a transactional account with the same bank? And I'm joined this evening by Omar Baig, who's the head of transactional banking at Absa Everyday Banking. We are taking your questions and comments on this matter. And I want to hear from you at home. When you applied for your home loan, what was your experience with your primary bank versus the other banks if you shopped around or perhaps worked with a bond originator? Did you find that you were getting sort of better rates with your bank, or maybe getting a higher LTV versus when you were working with other financial institutions? We've got a question here coming through from Facebook, Uquintago, asking, how long does it take for me to be approved for a home loan at Absa if I'm a new client?
Hi, thank you. So I think the most important thing in that is how quickly you can complete the application process and get all the information that the bank requires to be able to assess you, for the particular home loan. And as I mentioned earlier, it makes it much easier. It shortens that approval time if you're already maintaining your relationship with the bank at which you're applying for the home loan. So if you've got your relationship with Absa, it becomes much easier for us to access, your information. It saves time on completing a lot of the checks that a bank would go through, and allows us to get you that approval much more quickly.
And perhaps, Omar, staying with Absa, and I'm glad that Queen sent through that question that, asks specifically about Absa. Perhaps take us through what some of the key differences that an Absa transactional account has, or the key differences that Absa transactional offers clients that other banks typically wouldn't.
Yeah. And I think that's very important, because it enhances the value that you can get from your banking relationship. So one of the things, for example, that we pride ourselves on is in terms of the benefits that we give to the customer from, for example, retrenchment cover. Now, once again, it's not something you find with any other bank in the market, but with our gold value bundle and our premium accounts, we've launched retrenchment cover where you can get, up to 5,000 Rand a month, or on the premium account, 10,000 Rand, if you've been retrenched from your work. And we've seen a number of customers benefit from that in the COVID, post-pandemic, post-COVID environment. With those funds, it allows you then to at least meet some of your expenses, maybe service some of the loans that you've got, so that's a big advantage. In addition to that, we offer free disability cover, on our gold and premium packages, varying from 5,000 to 10,000 Rand, depending on the product you're holding. We offer a death benefit of 20,000 on gold and 25,000 on our premium accounts. And something new that we introduced this year is free accidental death cover. So, all you've got to do is go onto the app, select the option, and you can get covered for up to 100,000 Rand in terms of accidental death cover. So those benefits we've seen have really appealed to our customers, especially in difficult times, and a lot of our customers have availed the benefit of that. We also provide great benefits to banking your entire family's relationship with Absa. So we like to call it family banking. If your spouse or your partner is banking with Absa, we give them a 50% discount on their banking fees. Kids can bank for free. We've, if you've got young school-going kids, younger than that, they bank for free. If you've got university-going children, whether they want to open accounts in their own right or they want to open it as part of a family relationship, we've just announced that we waived our monthly fees for students and made banking virtually free for them, so you can benefit from that. It also allows the main member of the household to pay for the fees and charges for the other members of that family, through a feature that we call Bank on Me. The other thing is with the Absa Rewards program, it's quite unique in that we give you cash back. So, as you deepen your relationship, as you transact through your account, through your credit card, we actually give you a percentage of that value of transactions back in the form of real cash. So you can use that cash, as you can take it out, get it transferred into your account. You can use it to pay for prepaid services, for a host of other things, but it's real cash. We're not in that space of saying, we give you 100 points or 1,000 points. We're saying here's real cash back to you to use as most appropriate and most convenient for you.
No, Omar, I think one of the things that I actually saw Absa has launched that I'd like you to take us through a little bit is the I Can with Absa offer. Perhaps share with our viewers what that is about. I know it's quite recent. Perhaps explain to our viewers what we can expect with I Can with Absa.
Yeah, so, that's our latest offer where, again, we're always looking for ways to give value back to customers. And that's the latest offer that we've launched. It's, as you said, very fresh, very new. It went live on the 15th of February. It's going to run for 3 months. And essentially what it does is, if you've got any product with Absa, or you come in and you open up a transactional account, you take up a gold value bundle, or you take up a premium account, we give you real value back. We give you the opportunity to participate in a draw. What we're offering there is up to 150,000 Rand a week in prizes to our customers. So for example, if you've got a home loan with Absa and you open up a gold value bundle, or you take up a premium account, you can win 20,000 Rand in cash to use, whether you want to redecorate your home, whether you want to pay down some of your debts, whatever you want to do, you can use that money to. If you've got a vehicle finance with Absa, we give you back the value of up to 3 installments. If you've got a credit card with Absa, we'll give you back up to 15,000 Rand to be able to either pay off some of what you've accumulated in terms of credit balances on the credit card, or to use for any other purpose you see fit. So effectively, any relationship you have with Absa, you take up a gold or premium value bundle, or you've got an existing transactional account and you upgrade to a gold or premium account, you stand a real chance to win, as I said, up to 150,000 Rand in value back.
Omar, I know one of the ways that a lot of customers are able to get value, especially when it comes to their home loans, is of course when they use a Flexi Reserve facility. Perhaps take us through how it works. We've spoken to some of your colleagues, but of course to viewers who may not have caught that episode, how exactly does a Flexi Reserve at Absa work?
Yeah. So I think it's a really important facility that we've got, and we do encourage customers to make use of it. I think the advantage with the Flexi Reserve is you can, and I'll talk a little bit about what it is, but you can get it either at the time you take up your home loan, or you can even ask for it later on if you haven't taken it up. So the Flexi Reserve, essentially what that allows you to do is you some extra funds, or you want to prepay any amount into your home loan, you can put that money into your home loan, and via the Flexi Reserve, if you need that excess amount that you've paid down, you can withdraw it at any time you like. You can, if you've got a transactional account with Absa, you register on our digital banking services, it becomes much easier for you to access that those funds, or those excess funds that you put against your home loan. Now, the advantage of putting those excess funds you have against your home loan is it lowers the amount of interest that you pay. You can pay off the loan, in a shorter time period. So there are real advantages, if you are able to prepay some of what your outstanding value is on the home loan. And if you need it at any point in time, the best part about the Flexi Reserve is you have access to those funds, so they're not locked in. If you put that money in, you can take it out again whenever you do need it.
Omar, before I let you go, how can viewers at home then sign up for that transactional account if they're interested to sign up with Absa?
So the easiest way, obviously, is download the app. It's a quick process. It should take you 4 to 5 minutes, and you can have your transactional account set up. You can go online to absa.coza. You can call into our call center or visit any of our branches. So really, the choice is up to the customer, whatever is most convenient. If you want to come in and have meet with one of our financial consultants and speak to them about the products and services we have on offer, then you're more than welcome to walk into any of our branches, call into the call center where you can have a conversation, or you can go through, as I said, the digital process, which will guide you, and enable you to open the account of your choice in as little as 10 minutes.
And Omar, that's a great place to leave it there. I think if our viewers at home want to, of course, reach out to the Absa Home Loan team, you certainly are able to do so. We always share their details down here below. But if there are other issues that you want to tackle, you can, of course, go to your nearest branch or contact them directly because they're always certainly there to try and make your home ownership journey as simple as possible. Omar, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much, Zama, and we encourage all your viewers as well to get in touch with us at Absa if there's any way we can help them with their financial needs. Thank you.
And that is Omar Baig, who's the head of transactional banking at Absa Everyday Banking. Well, we're not done yet. Here on the Private Property Podcast, we are going to be giving away that 500 Rand in cash. So do not go anywhere because if we call your name, you want to definitely still be on the live. We're going to go for a quick break and we'll be back just after this. Omar, thank you so much. Welcome back to the Wednesday edition of the Private Property Podcast. Well, it's that time of the evening where we get to give away 500 Rand in cash to one lucky viewer at home. All you have to do is if we call out your name, send us a message below. I'm going to give you a minute or two to drop us a message and you walk away with that 500 Rand in cash. And this is, of course, some of the ways that we are spicing things up for our Sherlock Holmes competition. And the potential lucky winner of that 500 Rand cash prize goes this evening to Zintle Nkosi. Zintle Nkosi, I'm going to give you a minute or two to send us a text down here below to let us know that you are in fact in the live and you're watching us, and in order to claim your prize. And if you want to be just like Zintle Nkosi, all you have to do is to enter the Sherlock Holmes competition. Just go to www.privateproperty.co.za and follow where the riddle takes you. Let us know where you think it potentially takes you, and you can stand a chance of either walking away with 500 Rand in cash by simply watching us live, or of course the big prize is at 5,000 Rand voucher on Friday. Now I'm waiting for one of my colleagues to let me know if Zinhle is in fact in the live and watching us, and I hope that Zinhle is watching us. I'm sure all of us especially could probably use with an extra 500 Rand just for entering a competition, especially as it is the payday week or payday weekend. Probably want that little bit of extra money for yourself. So Zinhle Nkosi, if you are watching us live, drop us a message down here below, or of course we are going to have it roll over if Zinhle is not in the live and watching us. I'm going to give Zinhle a few more moments. I'm also waiting for the green or red light from my colleagues who are of course monitoring our social media platforms to ensure that if Zinhle is in fact watching, she is we can see her in order to give her her prize. And one of the things, of course, with this competition is that you get an opportunity to win more than once. There's going to be a grand prize at the end of this, because we obviously wouldn't run a competition for 12 weeks and we don't find a great way to end it off. So you want to make sure that you enter, and you can enter as many times as you'd like, of course, to maybe better your odds, especially of winning the spot prize, because every Wednesdays and Thursdays, we give away that 500 Rand in cash. And that one is probably the easiest one to win, because you just have to watch the show. Wait until the very end, of course, to be able to claim your prize. Now, I have been told by my colleagues that unfortunately, Zinhle Nkosi is not on the live. And so we're going to go to the potential second winner of this evening's 500 Rand cash prize, and that goes to Megan van Schalkwyk. So Megan van Schalkwyk, I'm also going to give you about a minute to get to us and let us know if you are in fact still on the live and still watching us, and you can get to walk away with that 500 Rand in cash. That's Megan van Schalkwyk. If you are watching, make sure to drop us a text down here below and you can get to walk away with that 500 Rand in cash. It is that simple. There's no, you don't need to answer a question. You don't need to do anything. You would have entered the Sherlock Holmes competition. And of course, we call out your name live on the show, and you have to be watching us live in order to claim that prize. So Megan van Schalkwyk, if you are watching, do drop us a message down here below. I'm going to wait for my colleagues to let me know if Megan van Schalkwyk is online and watching us in order to claim her prize. Now, one of the big things, of course, with the Sherlock Holmes competition is that every single week we share a new riddle for you to crack. And this week is week 6 of this competition. And the riddle is one that I'm sure a lot of the Durbanites are probably quite happy about. I know with last week with the Centurion and some of the people who lived there were also very happy about it. And the riddle for this week is: in the northern part of Durban, in the middle of 10 and 20 bars, you'll find a house in the 3 dimension with a pool your pets will love. That is riddle 6 of the Sherlock Holmes competition that we're running here across the private property social media pages. So if you want to have your crack at, perhaps letting us know where it leads you, then do make sure you go to our website, www.privateproperty.co.za. We are waiting for Megan van Schalkwyk, and I've just gotten word from my colleague that unfortunately Megan van Schalkwyk is also not on the live with us. What I'll do is we'll roll it over to tomorrow. So whoever we announce tomorrow is going to walk away with 1,000 Rand. So if you know that you've entered the competition and you are eagerly waiting to potentially be one of those winners, well, tomorrow it's going to be 1,000 Rand in cash that you can get to walk away with. Well, that's it from me, Zamantungwa, and the rest of the Private Property Podcast team. We are going to be back on your screens tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. But of course, it is the first time home buyers show at 8 p.m. Well, until then, hoping you're staying home and staying safe.
Hi, I'm Brandon Ribbing. I'm an entrepreneur from Durban. The suburbs of Berea and Morningside are built on a natural ridge that overlooks the home of the Sharks, the Moses Mabhida Stadium, Durban Country Club. It's just got an incredible outlook elevated over the city. Living in Morningside makes so much sense to us because everything is so central. Anything that we choose to do is a couple of kilometers away or a couple of 100 meters away. Restaurants, coffee shops, it's all here on our doorstep. You know, we've got great schools here. The girls' schools just close by are Moristella and Durban Girls College, and then fantastic boys' schools, Durban Preparatory High School, DPHS, one of the top primary schools in the country, and then Clifton, which now goes all the way to high school. It's so convenient to be in this area where everything is close by. Some of our closest friends stay just across the Umgeni River in Durban North. Durban North is very family orientated with some great schools, some excellent restaurants, and some small commercial centres. The promenade along Durban's beachfront, also known as the Golden Mile, got an incredible facelift for the 2010 World Cup and today is used by all of Durban's population. We as a family love the Durban beachfront. If we're not on the water, you'll find us on our bicycles along the promenade. Being a world paddleboard champion, I've travelled to some of the most amazing beaches around the world, but nothing comes close to what we have here in Durban. Durban has great weather and great conditions all year round for surfing and for training and just being in the ocean. And that's why it's known as the warmest place to be. We've lived here our whole lives, and there's no place we'd rather be, and this is our neighbourhood.